Tonight's headlines are brought to you in part by Coldwell Energy and McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Chris Nelson. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. CNMI is on the verge of a government shutdown, which could affect a couple of thousand workers. Also tonight, the governor, the House, and the Senate appear pretty far apart on budget talks. And tomorrow night, that'll be Thursday, 3 candidates for governor will square off in a live debate. In sports, the kids are running fast and far in cross-country action. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
We knew it was time to make these when we started asking things like, wouldn't it be nice to be able to get a warm cinnamon roll right now? And why can't this kind of muffin come from the same place as a McMuffin? And isn't your coffee lonely without company from a glazed apple fritter? Well, consider these our 3 resounding yeses. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hafaday, Tirwami, and good evening, Commonwealth. It is Wednesday night, and the House has a budget. The Senate has a budget. The House does not like the Senate budget. The Senate doesn't much like the House budget. Governor Torres says the government could partially shut down in just a few days.
I am legitimately warning the community that there might be a potential shutdown, and I am 100% blaming it on the leadership of the House.
If there is a shutdown, non-essential employees will not report to work, and the administration says that number could be in the thousands.
Under the shutdown, there's a provision or definition on who are essential. So if you're not part of the essential, then you don't report to work.
We are going to review and go over the list, and the list involves essential government employees, and we're going to see who's essential. Update our list and have it prepared, ready to go, just in case.
The House and Governor have major disagreements over who is responsible for spending ARPA money.
First, how they acted on the ARPA funds is totally illegal. They have no authority to reprogram or program or decide what percent to use. I mean, that's the biggest part of it. So when you put an 80% ARPA fund and 20 and you switch that around, that in itself is already an unbalanced budget. So that's the biggest part, the biggest issue that we have here. It's the governor's office that has that authority. So again, there's no other jurisdiction or state that is reprogrammed by the legislature like what they're trying to claim.
Governor's legal counsel Gil Burnbridge.
I believe the authority to disperse the funds resides in the executive, resides in the governor, the ARPA funds. I know they cite this statistic from the National Conference of State Legislatures, but we don't know that's what even there. Every state has their own law, has their own constitution. We believe under our laws that the power resides in the governor.
I don't know what politics they're playing, but definitely I'm not playing politics when it comes down to people's life. Never have. So I would ask them, what kind of politics are they playing when they risk people's livelihood, putting food on the table? Why did they wait this late?
The CNMI legislature held budget talks yesterday afternoon. Let's take a look around the room.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Chairman Manglonia and the Committee on Ways and Means, Vice Chairwoman Karina Magofnia, for all the hard work during this budget season. The budget process was long. It was very detailed, very draining. Thank you to all the agencies and departments that came out to really answer questions, provide perspective to the committee to help us draft a bill that really made sense. And so I just wanted to make comment and state for the record that I'm ready to reject this version of the bill that we have before us from the Senate.
Something that I have to think about, because this is my last term. I want to get paid with my retirement. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I am not in favor of this bills, and I want to go back to the bills that the House and all of us have passed it.
This administration has not failed our retirees since. On top of that, he had also found money to give some bonuses to our retirees. So I think this administration has done a good job with making sure the retirees are taken care of. Yes, I agree that the medical referral program should be under the hospital, but then the hardship that people have been talking about, that ever since that transition happened, the resources and the benefits that were afforded to them when the medical referral program was under the executive branch is no longer allowed under CHCC. The CHC office, the medical referral office under CHCC now requires medical referral patients to utilize Uber. I don't know for you guys, colleague, but these are our people, and we know how to treat our people. And there's people out there that are already set up, and they establish their network and partnership, and they know how to get to and from. I don't know if an Uber driver could assist these patients. I think that the liaison office under the executive branch with this new office is a good idea. So I am in full support of the Senate version.
We together passed the House version of this budget, and we were in unison. We got the blame, the House leadership, but we all voted together. And now some of us are going to change that tune because we're listening to the wisdom of the Senate. Is the Senate smarter than us? Is the Senate President smarter than the Speaker or smarter than the Chairman of Ways and Means? I'll tell you this, I will yield when it comes to numbers to the Chairman of Ways and Means, Donald Manglonia. Anybody that wants to go up on a contest in mathematics, I dare you to. He is sharp. And one of the things that I can tell you is the numbers don't lie. People lie. Numbers don't.
The Senate basically proposes to give the governor unlimited reprogramming power to find that money. And just where do they think he will find that money? Of course, from ARPA. Maybe from FEMA reimbursements that are still coming in. What other significant funding sources are there? He'll reprogram local funds from local accounts to meet that match and then replenish or backfill, as they like to say, those accounts with ARPA money. And know that it's not that much different from what we proposed to do in the House. We were just upfront about it and actually choosing to exercise our authority to move resources around to meet critical needs. The Senate's version merely abdicates that responsibility to the governor.
Why would the legislature give up our power to control the purse? We weren't elected to represent our governor. We were elected to fight for our people and to do what is right. The right thing to do is be transparent, responsible, and fair. We have a few days to pass a budget in order to avoid a shutdown, and I stand ready to work with the Senate to address concerns in the budget. But for now, for all these reasons that I've mentioned, I cannot support the Senate's budget version of the budget. And I ask my colleagues to support the rejection of House Bill 22-116 HD2 Senate Substitute 1. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Senate says they have a number of issues with the House spending plan. The Senate held a press conference of their own this week to explain their position.
The House version included tax increase on tobacco, sweet tax and all, and fortunately that's the position of the Senate. Is we disagree and we wanted to be consistent with the constitutional provision, as far as the legislation is concerned. Based on the House position, it is evident that the House did not consider the analysis of the Constitution. And pursuant to the analysis of Article 2, Section 5B of the NMI Constitution, it is clear that revenue bills are passed separately from the budget.
The hurdle that they cannot get over is Article 3 under the executive function, where it says that the governor shall submit a balanced budget. He may recommend revenue generation legislation. And if they just take a few minutes to go to the constitutional analysis of that provision, it will state in plain, simple English that any taxation, any revenue generation measures must be passed separately from the Budget Act. Cannot be included.
And this is the problem that we have today, is that from the get-go, we have differences between the lower house and the executive branch. They are colliding every inch of the way. So there's no way that we can come together, with one vision, one direction to provide the economic welfare of our people.
Although this is a Senate draft or a Senate substitute, and I know my colleagues in the House are listening right now, I respectfully ask that they accept this product and move forward.
Saipan Chamber of Commerce will host a debate with the 3 gubernatorial candidates tomorrow night. That'll be held at the World Resort. Governor Ralph Torres, Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios, and Representative Tina Sablan will field questions tomorrow night from Guam's Patty Arroyo in front of a live audience at the World Resort. The debate will begin at 5:45 p.m., expected to go until about 8. Each candidate will be given equal time to answer questions submitted in advance by the general public. Time limits will be enforced fairly and equally in accordance with standard debate procedures. That coming from the Chamber of Commerce. The event will be live streamed by the Northern Marianas College.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537. Welcome back. You're watching the Wednesday night edition of the Channel 2 News. A handgun once used by tourists at a shooting range on Tinian is stolen and then sold for $300. The undercover buy leads authorities to scores of weapons and ammo. A government employee is in custody. A Department of Public Works employee on Tinian has been arrested after police say he sold a Beretta 9mm handgun on Tinian. Bail has been set at $50,000 for Dennis Sanchez Regis. The defendant's being charged with burglary, theft of a firearm, possession of a stolen firearm, failure to possess a firearms owner identification card. and others. The arrest stems from an earlier burglary and theft incident reported at the American Gun Club shooting range on Tinian. That shooting range has been closed. A bail hearing was held yesterday. This was a joint investigation with the CNMI Drug Enforcement Task Force and Department of Public Safety from Saipan and Tinian. Led to the execution of a search warrant on a private residence there where 19 firearms were recovered. Recovered firearms believed to be the ones stolen from the American Gun Club shooting range. An extensive search was also conducted at Goat Island as part of the investigation, and authorities say the investigation remains ongoing. When the Spanish first arrived in the Marianas, they were met by sailing canoes. Within a couple of generations, Spanish flu decimated the island's population. Many Chamorros were then relocated to Guam. Carolinians came to Saipan to settle, and now the community celebrates both cultures. 500 Sails is bringing back and recognizing the canoe culture. Sally Lemus has this story, and it's a good one.
As we recognize September as Cultural Heritage Month, it's important to embrace all elements that make up Chamorros and Carolinians. One tradition that makes our people unique is the knowledge of canoes and navigation. The 500 Sails program is committed in not only preserving the canoe culture, but teaching it as well. Director Emma Perez says their name explains it all.
So 500 Sails gets its name from a first-person account from 1565 when a Spanish galleon was approaching the Marianas. And during the day, and this first-person account describes how their galleon was surrounded by 500 sailing canoes. That's the vision.
The purpose of 500 Sails is to bring back the Chamorro canoe culture, and with the help of Carolinian master navigators who share their knowledge, it is very slowly coming back. According to Perez, they can't help but wonder.
So we were focused on revival. And then the question came up in the last year, Hafaidza, what if? What if we'd never lost the canoes here in the Marianas? What if, when Spanish colonization happened in the late 1700s, the canoes were eliminated? What if they were still here? What would it look like out on the water? And remember, there were 500 sails on one day in one place. This lagoon would be full of canoes. We would be a unique place in the world where people could come and sail on traditional canoes. We'd have a healthier population. We'd have more fishermen. We'd have oceanographers and microbiologists. We'd have more people in the Coast Guard and in the Navy.
The goal now is to infuse the traditional canoe culture with modern teachings.
And it's not easy because it doesn't always fit with Western constructs. It's very, very difficult. But we just keep holding on to the what if that hadn't been gone, you know? And so I often challenge, especially if I'm talking to the youth in a school, what would be different? And I encourage you all to think about that. What would be different? And how can we help not just revive, but make this place the way it should be if we hadn't lost our canoe culture?
Emma runs 500 Sails with her husband Pete, who says they are expanding their services with a cultural maritime training center, which is in the works.
What that facility will do is it will allow our youth and adults to come in and get the training they need to have jobs on the water. So like a 6-pack license with a sailing endorsement, that's one. We teach sailing and voyaging. We teach boat building. And so people who go through the program can become boat builders. They can take the public out and our tourists out on the water for a really fun ride. We have people learning how to teach swimming, and we have people learning how to be lifeguards.
The forthcoming Cultural Maritime Training Center will also have direct lessons from master navigators.
And then we have a special track, which is traditional navigation taught by Carolinian master navigators. And that is just a really rich cultural treat, really, for someone to learn from these people how to navigate in the ancient way on the water. That's not why you're going to make money. That's just what you're going to do for your personal satisfaction.
500 Cells has just recently partnered with the Bank of Saipan to exhibit their canoes and inform customers of the program.
So the exhibit, will be on display throughout the rest of this month, and we're inviting the community, everybody, to please come down, take a look at it, learn a little bit more about what 500 Cells does for the community here, and hopefully to become part of this great organization.
The Bank of Saipan is located along Beach Road, Oliai, next to the former mayor's office.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Goat's Gym, and today we're going to show you a Bulgarian split squat, a fantastic lower body exercise that should be a main staple in your training. Now the first thing we want to address is the rear foot placement. Now whether it's toes on or toes off, just find what's comfortable for you. The bigger issue we want to tackle is the height of the box or bench. You see, when you set up on a box or a bench that's too high, that inherently puts an aggressive stretch on the front of your hip. Oftentimes, that sensation will take away from the working leg, the leg that's on the floor. And when you start to add load in this faulty position, you're bound to run into some problems, particularly if you got some mobility restrictions. So Jamila's gonna set up, she's gonna descend with control, and from there just stand tall.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, let's take a look at cross-country action for the kids. 230 students from different elementary schools in Saipan participated in the PSS NMA cross-country third qualifier at the American Memorial Park in Garapan on Saturday. Guido Jamber of Saipan International School topped the boys division. Ravel Escarlon of Agape Christian School finished second. Third, Kanoa Owens from Garapan Elementary School. Meanwhile, Kaylin Ruth Tafflinger of Oliai Elementary School ruled the girls division. Scarlett Burrell of Saipan International finished second, and third, Leilani Rizala, also from SIS. And here are the top three team standings after Saturday's race in the high school boys division. First, Agape Christian School with 25 points, MHS with 45 points, and third, Saipan Southern High with 49 points. In high school girls division, Saipan International leading with 17 points, Agape Christian second with 22 points, and Marianas High School third with 65 points. In middle school boys, Dan Middle School is in first with 47 points, Grace Christian Academy second with 51, third Hopwood Middle School just one behind with 52. Girls Division, Agape Christian School topped their division with 18 points. Second, SIS with 22. And in third, Dan Middle School with 46 points. Elementary Boys Division, SIS ruled this division with 29 points. Agape Christian second with 54. And Brilliant Star third with 56. And in the Girls Division, SIS also on top with 23 points, followed by Brilliant Star with 38 points. Third, Olei Elementary with 48. The next qualifier will take place this Saturday at Airport Field in Dandan. Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week. All right, let's take a look at a beautiful weather report. Partly sunny with isolated showers, east winds 8 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with isolated showers, east winds 7 to 9 miles per hour. High of 88, low 79. Humidity up there 88%. Tomorrow, partly sunny with scattered showers, east winds 7 to 9 miles per hour. High of 87, low of 79. Marine forecast, combined seas around 4 feet with the primary east swell, east winds 5 to 10 knots, wind waves 2 feet or less, east swell 3 feet. In other words, with all that I just said, it's beautiful. Sunrise 6:06 a.m., high tide 8:59 p.m., low tide 3:18 p.m., and sunset creeping down each day just a little bit, 6:09 p.m. That's going to do it for us on this Wednesday night. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on Friday at 6 right here on Channel 2. Good night.